Hello everyone, welcome back to Growing with TJ. I apologize, not getting a lot of videos out, just not really having the time to do so. So when I can, I will definitely put a video out. Finally feeling caught up with the garden, got most of everything I needed to get planted for now. And now I'm just going to be doing a little maintenance and taking care of everything in the garden. And eventually I'll keep starting to add more, and succession planning will begin. So I'm going to take the time today. We're going to go through a full garden tour. Everything's looking really good, nice and green, and it's a beautiful day, 70 degrees. So let's get into it and have a nice long garden tour. All right, so back here, this bed is kind of was an experiment. It doesn't get full sun, but it gets at least 6 hours, which technically is full sun, but doesn't get as much as the main garden. So here I got this garlic. This is a German, some type of German garlic. It's a hard neck. I'm not seeing any scapes yet, but it's growing pretty well. I expect them to show up here soon. You can see this side looking really good, and over here, not so much. So we'll see how it goes. First year growing garlic. I don't really know the whole process too well. So we'll see. I know when the garlic scapes come, I'll pull them off and then let half of the leaves die, and that's when I will harvest it. Over here we have candy carrots. See, they are growing, but they're also growing slower than the carrots over there. They were planted a little bit after, but at the same time, I think they're just not getting as much sun as there, and they're just growing a little bit slower. But I think we'll be able to get a nice harvest from these carrots eventually. Right here, I popped in an early prolific squash that I started from seed, and some borage seeds I put in the ground. I'm going to try, I'm just going to try a couple things back here and see how it does. Here's the peppers right here. This is also an experiment. When we get into July and August, we're getting 90, 100-degree weather, and it's just baking over there in the main garden. And sometimes I'll put a shade cloth over my peppers just to give them a little break from the heat. So I'm going to try these guys back here and see how they do. Let's see, what do we got here? We got Jimmy Nardella. We got Mellow Star, which is the shishito pepper. Flaming Flare. Red Ember, which is cayenne and Fresno pepper. We got some sweet banana back here. And we have cayenne right here. So we'll see how these guys do. They're doing pretty well. We have had some very cool weather for this time of year and lots of rain. So some of the plants aren't growing as well as they should be. But it looks like coming up, we're going to have, warmer weather. Still some rain, but a little warmer weather than we've been having. So let's head over to the other side of the garden. So this area back here has always been a sore subject for me. It gets out of control. I wanted to put fabric down. I didn't have any pins, so I kind of skipped that, but I got it looking pretty nice. We'll go over there in a second. Right here is a German butterball potato. As you can see, it's just starting to pop up now. You're going to see that I have potatoes in all different stages, so that way I'm getting potatoes nonstop. Right here is a ice ballot swamp milkweed. I just put that in. I had one over here for a few years, and it did not come back. So I guess that was the end of its life. And we got a new one that we just put in. This is a Little Angel humdinger. So that's a butterfly bush. I believe this is its 3rd year. It's coming back very nicely. I don't have a lot of room to put watermelon, so I'm trying to spot back here up this little trellis that I created. And this is a Mini Love watermelon. So I think they get, I want to say 8 pounds maybe. So they're not too big. So we'll see how that does back here with a little more shade as well. Right here we have a fern leaf dill I just put in there. La Diva Big Night Lavender. And this is an oregano. I'm kind of putting the dill here to see if I can get the caterpillars to go to my dill and not my tomatoes. The hornworms, or at least I will see that they're on there, and I know they're around the area, and I can keep an eye out for them on my tomatoes. This is a Reliance peach. Really growing well. As I mentioned before, you can see right there, we do have a curl leaf disease that I did not spray. I will spray in the fall or late winter. But you can see there is a lot of peaches on there, which I will be thinning them down because I can't keep all those peaches for this size of a tree. But hopefully we do get some peaches this year. And the curl leaf disease, I just can't do much about it until I can spray in the fall or late winter. This is a russet potato. As you can see, it is starting to flower, which is telling me that there is little potatoes forming down below. So it shouldn't be too long until we can start harvesting potatoes. So you can see that one's flowering, and the one I have over here is just popping up. So just a good way to spread out your harvest so that you're not getting everything at once and you have plenty of potatoes to eat. All right, let's come over here to the in-ground garden. I did add some raised beds, but mostly in-ground. We'll start back here with the tomatoes. You can see I have them going up this cattle panel that I put in. Got marigolds all over the place, Safari Scarlet Marigold. So we got a Sakura cherry tomato, and these are all my cherry tomatoes on this trellis. A Mountain Magic, Pink Bumblebee right there. I'm sorry, that is a Brad's Atomic Grape. Pink Bumblebee, another Sakura right there. That is a Grenadero Plum Tomato, and that is a Kiki's Orange Marigold. I just added another trellis here for my cucumbers. And that's something. I was looking for my tape measure, and there it is. All right, so I put in Diva cucumbers, some seeds right here, and then also over here I have some transplants I put in. The Diva cucumber is not supposed to attract cucumber beetles as much because they don't have that bitter smell or taste to them, which attracts the cucumber beetles. So I'm going to give them a shot because I have a hard time with cucumber beetles, and I'm hoping that this will help me out in the long run. Just put in some squash right here. This is a Black Beauty squash. Got a marigold with it and Orchard Flame nasturtium. That's just kind of trying to help companion plant with the vine borers and squash bugs. Right here is a Gauldy eggplant. You can see it's not looking great. I'm not sure if the cooler weather and a lot of rain has been affecting it. I gave it some fertilizer, but the new leaf looks decent. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what's going on with the eggplant. My other ones look exactly the same. Come over here to my peppers, these are Lunchbox, which is a snacking pepper. And over here, we have a Mellow Star shishito pepper that has no heat. And again, I don't think the peppers have been enjoying the cooler weather. You know, we were in 50s day and night, so it's been a little cooler for the peppers, but I think they'll be all right with the temperatures coming up. Right here, I put in 3 more tomatoes. That is a mushroom basket, which is a Russian tomato. It's a really cool looking tomato. I look forward to showing you what that one looks like. Right there is a classic beefsteak tomato, heirloom tomato. And another heirloom tomato right here is the Brandywine. So Brandywine is one of my favorites, but it does have some trouble with disease. You can see this method I'm using is the Florida weave, which I've never done before, but I'm going to give it a shot this year. Trying to maximize my space. Right here is a white scallop zucchini. Got a marigold and again a nasturtium next to it to try and help with the vine borers and squash bugs. I've never grown this one before, so we're looking forward to that. This is a pink bumblebee right there. Here is my other eggplants. Again, not looking too great. I just added that one right there in case, you know, it's not doing, the other ones aren't doing too well. That was growing in a small pot and it was doing pretty good, so I added that to the garden. Come over here. This is all cauliflower right here. I'm not seeing much. Maybe a little cauliflower is growing, but back here you can see the broccoli head is starting to form on those 4 broccoli plants. So just a few broccoli and cauliflower plants for this year. The fall I will really pick up the broccoli and cauliflower planting. See here, I was thinning out some the carrots, so they're forming pretty good. I'll eat these, but I need to thin them out, give them a little bit more room. We got an nasturtium right here. Right here is the green arrow shelling pea. You can see there are some beans starting to form, or some peas. And we are getting the flowers are starting to come now. They have been enjoying the cool weather that we've been having. Volunteer sunflower that I let go. I like to let volunteer sunflowers go if I can, if they're not gonna ruin where I want to plant other stuff. This is the mammoth sugar snow pea. Not many flowers on this thing yet, but you can see a lot taller than the shelling pea. This is where I thinned out the carrots. I don't know if you can see in there. There is a carrot popping up a little bit. So not too long and I'll be able to get some candy carrots. This is a Bailey's Virginia peanut that I'm going to try this year. Never grown any peanuts, and I wanted to give it a shot. It's doing all right, I think. I mean, the color is good. Just kind of slow growth at this point, but hopefully that experiment turns out to be a good one. Then over here, we have some more peppers. These are hot peppers. That's a Buona Mulata pepper, and that is a purple pepper. You see they're kind of interesting looking. And then here we have the red ember and red ember. And the flaming flare, there we go. The flaming flare. Okay, so the raspberry, I'm not quite sure what's going on with the raspberry. These second-year canes, I'm not getting any new growth coming from them. You can see first-year canes are popping up fine. Now, I did cut one cane to see, and it might be tough for you guys to see, but it does have a little green ring around it, which tells me it's alive. It just is not woken up yet. I've only had one, maybe one or two open up. You can see this one's actually starting to flower and form berries. And then here, another one right there has opened up. It's all on the bottom. So I'm hoping it's going to start sending out new growth on the second-year cane. And there's not an issue with it. Time will tell. I'm not sure. This is the first year that it's taken this long for the second-year canes to send out some growth. So this is the Calabra onion. Now, you can see they're all falling over. They're not looking great. I think it is from the wind, but I could be wrong, and maybe there's some type of fungal or some type of disease on the root system that's making them fall over. But we've had a lot of wind, crazy wind, and the wind comes this way, so they're getting pounded by the wind. So I'm not sure how the onion harvest is going to be. See, that one right there is looking very nice, but the majority of them are all falling over. Got a dahlia right there, another dahlia. Here's some more carrots. As you can see, they are forming nice. Just put in another determinate tomato right here, Mountain Fresh. That is purple fusion lettuce that's growing right there. Some dwarf curl kale back there. Come over here. Right here is some dwarf snapdragons. Looking very nice. That's a mixed variety. Right here we have some touchstone beets. Not doing very good. I had some other beets earlier and they got some type of leaf spot disease and I pulled them. So we'll see if these beets come together and get me a harvest. Right here is the Forest Fire Celosia. A very beautiful flower. That is a Celebrity Plus Determinate tomato. And back here we got marigolds, French dwarf, and these are all the determinate tomatoes that have been in the ground for a little bit now. Mountain Fresh and Celebrity Plus. We got 4 determinate tomatoes and I just added 2 more. That's a little bit farther behind. And then over here, I just added a zinnia, Queen Lime Blush. I didn't mention this over here, just going to be growing some stuff up the fence here, just some flowers, nasturtiums, zinnias. You can see this zinnia is been getting eaten bad by either pill bugs, roly-polies, or earwigs, I'd assume. So, not too worried about it. I think it'll come out of it pretty well. Right here, this is a Russian mammoth sunflower planted from seed. Another zinnia right there. Another Kiki's orange marigold. And this is the chocolate cherry sunflower. So a pretty cool looking sunflower. I'm looking forward to seeing that bloom. Right here is a volunteer sunflower. It always amazes me. The ones that volunteer, they grow very quick and a lot sooner than the ones you plant by seed. So you can see that one. I'll show you the other ones that are volunteers. But, you know, these started growing about the same time as this was popping up. And the volunteers just grow super fast. Right here we got the pansies. Cat's Marina Plus. Got some other random flowers in here. I'm not even quite sure what they are. I know we got a Alyssum here. And that is a Vinca Blockbuster Apricot. But the pansies are looking really good. Everything's looking green, growing pretty well. So here's another sunflower volunteer, and you can just see how big they are. I'm leaving these for now, unless I see that they're going to interrupt my tomato growth. I've been cutting leaves away from this side and letting the leaves grow this way. But you can see just how big they are. And they're a volunteer sunflower. So this cattle panel here is where all my bigger tomatoes are growing. We got a basil right here. Marigolds all around the tomatoes. This is a Grenadera plum. Mushroom basket right there, and they're growing pretty well. See some flowers starting to open up. See if I can get in here and show you. That's a big beef. Another big beef. You can see there's flowers. And these are all big boy. Don't see any tomatoes quite yet. They're getting some flowers and they are looking pretty good. I mean, getting very thick, good green growth. Coming down here, this is a lily. Looks like it's about to open up. That's a perennial. And that is a stargazer. More flowers here. This is dahlia, an unwind mix. More alyssum, and then that's another zinnia right there. This right here is my sweet pepper bed, peppers. So we got Olympus bell pepper, King of the North bell pepper, Ozark Giant bell pepper. They're all here. And again, slow growth, taking the temperatures. Got a marigold in there. Back between there is another nasturtium. And down here we got more lunchbox. That's a Jimmy Nardella sweet pepper. And that back row is all bell peppers. Bring it into here. You can see the lettuce has been getting harvest. We got an endive here, purple fusion back there, a bunch of spinach that I need to harvest, and more lettuce here. Right here, I planted a dragon tongue bush bean. Planted that a couple days ago. I'll be harvesting these two here next. Then I'll get another row of dragon tongue or lima beans. I'm not sure quite yet. But everything's growing really well under here. Having some protection really helps. I even have a shade cloth on it. And everything in here has just been growing amazingly. Over here, this is what's going to be my strawberry bed. We got Honey-O, All-Star, they're all June bearing. We got a marigold there. More dwarf snapdragons. This is geranium, marigold, zinnia. Back here we have a vermillionaire. Hummingbirds really like that. And here is a blue borage. If you look, starting to flower, kind of spiky leaves, and even the flowers are a little bit spiky. There we got some type of moth. All right, along here is my fabric pots. You can see I got a bunch of them. Most of them are potatoes. We'll start down here though. Red Pontiac and Red New Orleans. They are, this one's not flowering quite yet, but should very soon. And this one is flowering. So it won't be too long until we get something from there. Here's potatoes. You can see how much farther behind they are than, let's see, what do we got here? German butterball. Right here is a lemon balm starting to grow. And a Carusla parsley. You can see that there. Lemon balm's not doing too great. I had a volunteer come up and I put it in the pot. And I'm probably going to stick it in here when the parsley gets a little bit bigger. Right here is the blue Adirondack potato. Kind of cool, you can see. Definitely looks different than the other potatoes. I got that blue stem. Right here is the Yukon Gem. And I got all my potatoes, most of them from Fedco. seed company, but doing well. And here we got Sorora potato. It's supposed to be very good disease resistant, so that's kind of why I decided to try it. Looking green, all the potatoes looking real good and green. This is a fall gold yellow raspberry. I've always wanted to grow these, so I picked one up. I want to keep it in the pot for a year or two, and then by then hopefully I figure out somewhere to put it into the ground. This is a white superior potato. See, it's starting to flower. So I got about 4 that are going to flower and give me potatoes, and then the rest will be coming later down the line. And what is this right here? I think this is a red Pontiac as well. A little farther along than some of the others. So you can see potatoes, different stages. So don't get them all at once. And I will do another potato later in the summer to try and get a fall harvest. Alright guys, so that is where we will end this video. I hope your gardens are doing well. Everything's growing good. You're getting some good weather. And we will be back again with another video here shortly. Happy growing, and we'll see you next time.